Aloysius Darlington Lubowa, one of the only two surviving members of Buganda delegation negotiators, recalls Monday 18th September 1961 vividly. Delegates from political parties, Democratic Party and Uganda People's Congress, Kingdom and government officials from Uganda and United Kingdom met to discuss Uganda's constitution at the Constitutional Conference in Lancaster House, London. Buganda Kingdom was represented by Katikiro Mike Chintu, Leonard Bosude Omulamuzi, the Minister of Justice, Abu Mayanja, the Minister of Education, Nelson Sebugwao, Minister of the Treasury, Ben Chiwanuka attended as Chief Minister, while Obote led the Uganda People's Congress, and in person, Aloysius Darlington Lubowa as Minister of Local Government. The kingdom's main agenda was to advocate a federal government.
Ben Chiwanuka started being unpopular because he himself, he decided with his party to take part in the elections, but Buganda had refused, said they would not take part in those elections unless the central government, the British government, pronounced that Buganda would be a federal state.
The issue of the president would be finalized later. Sir Walter Coates would remain in charge as the Governor-General. Uganda was to remain as a member of the British Commonwealth. Federal states had different constitutions tied up with the national constitution. That had to be resolved. The army was also discussed. Buganda had demanded to have its own army, but this proposal was rejected. The Kabaka was granted 300 soldiers as bodyguards. Land matters were also discussed. The British government conceded it had taken out of Buganda 9,000 square miles as Crown land. They said it would be transferred to Buganda and be controlled by Buganda Land Board, and a national law would be effected to transfer that land to Buganda. On the lost counties, the British government proposed that a formula be established to settle the lost counties question. It was suggested that the Uganda government organizes a referendum 2 years after independence to resolve the issue. Aloysius Darlington Lubowa recollects the negotiators walking out of the room protesting any vote or discussion concerning land. The other contentious issues discussed were the composition of the National Assembly in an independent Uganda.
The two parties that were nationally recognized, where there was the Democratic Party, which was being led by the late Benedicto Chiwanuka. And the other one was the Uganda People's Congress, which was being led by the late A.M. Obote. So one of the two would become the Prime Minister. One of the two who would win the elections would become the Prime Minister of an internal self-government Uganda, not independent Uganda yet, because that stage, you see, it is internal self-government first, then you move on to independence.
Aloysius Darlington Lubowa brings to life the character, the kind of person that Ben Chiwanuka was when he speaks of him walking out of the conference.
Then when the Chico members are elected, they form an electoral college to nominate members, 21 members, Buganda members, to the National Assembly. That was the main proposal by Britain.
He recollects coming back home how the elections were organized. Buganda formed Kabaka Yeka political party. At this time, UPC had struck an alliance with Buganda. As a result of this relationship, the Mengo Kabaka Yeka won significantly, getting 65 seats while DP got only 3. Uganda People's Congress and Kabaka Yeka formed the new coalition government. It was this team that was invited to participate in the Uganda Independence Conference at Lancaster House in London in June 1962. Uganda got her independence on the 9th of October 1962 as fruitful efforts from the negotiators. Mzee Lubowa recalls the joys of that day.
News went back home exactly on that very day. Telephones and telegrams were flashing across.
The 1962 Lancaster Constitution was abrogated in 1966 by Obote, throwing out the Kabaka.
That was going to create later a crisis after the independence, when Obote has become the prime minister after Bendicho Chwanuka. Now his party comes in and said, we want to start opening branches here in Buganda. And Buganda says, no, you let this field be only for Kabaka Yika. And UPC refuses, and this is the beginning of what was to be later a crisis that built up over that issue and many other issues when the climax of 1966.
The earlier fallout with Obote were his selection of some Buganda representatives to his cabinet without consulting the Ruchiko. Also, the idea of supporting Mutesa becoming president was another fallout between them and Obote. This was a problem because under legislation, as head of state, Kabaka had to sign the transfer of the 2 counties from Buganda to Bunyoro. Indeed, when time for the referendum came and Buganda lost the 2 counties, it fell on Mutesa as head of state to sign the transfer of the counties from Buganda to Bunyoro. Mutesa refused. This created a rift.